In Morrowind, the marksman's skill affects the use of ranged weapons such as bows and crossbows, but the skill also affects the use of throwing weapons. In Tamriel, these weapons are recognized as marksman weapons, renowned for their swift and rapid attacks. Assassins such as the members of the Dark Brotherhood and the Morak Tong often use thrown weapons such as throwing stars and throwing knives for stealthy, surprising attacks. If you look at the Daggerfall concept art page, you can observe some amazing ideas from 1995. Here you see Khajiiti warriors wielding a throwing weapon known as a chakram. Throwing weapons were relatively popular in Morrowind during the Third Era. Crafted from materials such as chitin, ebony, malachite, silver and steel, these were frequently enchanted with diverse effects, including poison and elemental qualities like ice, fire and lightning. Garothmuk Ngro Musgub is an orc smith who has a shop in Suran. He is very knowledgeable about armor and weapon types. You can talk to him about throwing weapons.
What was that?
Short bows and long bows use arrows. Crossbows use bolts. Bow and crossbows are more cumbersome, two-handed weapons but more effective. Throwing stars and throwing knives are fast, light, one-handed attacks, but less damaging than bows and crossbows. Small thrown weapons are a Khajiit specialty. Throwing knives are useful in cultures like the Khajiit, whose warrior classes disdain heavy weapons and heavy armors, relying on stealth and maneuver for success in personal and clan combats. Throwing knives are also popular in criminal subcultures. The throwing star is an exotic weapon associated with the martial arts traditions of Akavir.
Haha, what a guy, I love him. A group of criminal vagrants called the Black Dart Gang was based out of Monhold's temple sewers and was known for their adept use of very powerful throwing darts. But the Nerevarine wipes them out in 3E427. Now, throwing weapons are treated as both bow and the arrow, essentially dealing double the damage listed on the weapon itself. Also, the damage dealt by throwing weapons is increased by the strength attribute, even though the agility attribute governs the marksman's skill. In fact, many of the throwing weapons added by the Tribunal expansion can hit for hundreds of damage with sufficient strength. As you can see from the formula, building your character's strength attribute is extremely important for any kind of throwing weapons build.
Hey, wait for me!
Let's take a look at the variety of throwing weapons added by Morrowind. Here we have 3 basic starter throwing knives, an iron throwing knife, a steel throwing knife and a glass throwing knife. These are extremely basic and are useful items to collect at level 1. Here is Bella using a glass knife on a scamp. At strength 63, she deals 14 damage per shot. Next, we have 4 varieties of darts: steel, silver, ebony and daedric. Interestingly, all of them have unique designs. The daedric dart has a funky design and is made from raw ebony, refined using magical substances of a lesser minions of oblivion. Wow, these daedric darts look cool when held. At strength 63, Bella deals 27 damage. The last set of unenchanted throwing weapons are throwing stars. We have chitin, steel, silver, glass and ebony variants. All of these stars have unique and beautiful designs. Next, we have some enchanted throwing weapons. This is a dire frost bloom dart with an area of effect frost damage enchantment. Then we have a poison bloom dart with an area of effect poison damage enchantment. Finally, the fire damage variant. Apart from darts, enchanted stars are also available. These darts are very effective for crowd control due to the area of effect enchantments as you see here. Let's check out the poison bloom dart in action. Always be wary of enemies that can reflect magic. If you use enchanted throwing weapons, you can get wrecked as well. Haha. Fantastic. Now you may have this question in your mind. Where do I get these throwing weapons? There is one shop in Vivek City which has to be your destination at level 1 if you plan a pure throwing weapons build. In the foreign quarter of Vivek City, visit Aradharian's shop and stock up on unenchanted as well as enchanted throwing weapons. As you can see, she offers everything: knives, stars and darts. Get hundreds of them if you have the cash. Haha. Next, we have the big daddy of throwing weapons. The Tribunal DLC adds these darts, which are perfect when facing high-level enemies. Here we have Black Dart that deals poison damage for a whopping 120 seconds. Holy crow, that is a lot. And this is a Bleeder Dart that damages health for 120 seconds. And then the Carmine Dart that damages fatigue and deals poison damage for 30 seconds. These are the fine variants of the 3 darts. They deal more damage. Next, we have the Paralysis Dart, which deals poison damage for 10 seconds and also paralyzes the target. Her dart is carried by the Hands of Almalexia. These have multiple enchantments. They do elemental damage and also reduce your strength. Ouch. On top of that, there is a blind effect as well. Finally, we have the Dwarven Darts. These do a ton of damage. So let's watch the Paralysis Dart in action. Interesting, he got paralyzed, but he reflected some of the poison damage. And Bella has a 100% paralysis resistance amulet on her, so she did not get paralyzed. Haha. Yeah, every time you use an enchanted dart, watch out for reflection. It is a wicked effect. The Remora resisted paralysis, but as you can see, the poison damage is active for 10 seconds. This guy has high paralysis resistance. But yeah, if you are planning a pure throwing weapons build, ensure you develop your athletics and acrobatics skill as well. As you can see here, Bella has superior mobility and that always helps. Now he gets paralyzed. Haha. Always wait for the enchantment to do its work. Don't keep spamming darts as each dart costs money. You are essentially throwing money every time a dart leaves your character's hand. It's like throwing money into the ether. Off you go to oblivion. Next we have Dwarven Darts. Oh wow, they look like short swords. Holy crow, look at the size of that. Wow, the Dwarven Dart did 113 damage. Remember, Bella's strength is 63, so high strength characters will do insane amounts of damage. Yep, they do not stand a chance. Let's see how Nals Othrobel will deal with the same Dremora using the Dwarven Dart.
I have you.
Nals has 100 strength, so the dart should do significant damage. Wow, 150 damage? That's insane! He reflected some of the shock damage onto Nals. At 100 strength, 150 damage, that is a bit crazy. As you saw, even though the Dremora reflected the shock damage, he could do nothing against the physical damage caused by the dart. Now you may have a question, how do I get these powerful darts? You have to travel to Mournhold. Yes. You have to visit those Vimmer ruins and slaughter these Vimmer spear archers. Here you go, Dwarven Dart. 9 darts from this guy. Here's a dead spear. 11 darts. Awesome. Ten darts from this guy. There you go. You can spend some time in these ruins and farm these powerful darts. Here's Eliza having some fun wasting these darts. As her marksman skill is 5, she always misses. And if your marksman skill is low, don't waste premium darts like this. Don't throw away money. Throwing weapons are a staple in most RPGs. BG3 has a property where any melee weapon can be thrown for a ranged attack. But I love Underrail's implementation where throwing is a skill as you see here. And as you improve your character's throwing skill, the precision of each throw is increased. Also, some feats or perks can boost the throwing skill. Underrail has throwing weapons like knives and grenades. There are also special gloves that boost the stats of throwing weapons. It would be fantastic to see a dedicated throwing weapon skill in the Elder Scrolls 6, complete with unique perks and specialized apparel. Bringing back the full arsenal of throwing weapons from Morrowind would be a great touch. Characters can also throw poisons at enemies as ranged explosives. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on bringing back throwing weapons. Beyond the classic throwing knives, stars, darts and poison flasks, what other kinds of weapons would you enjoy tossing at enemies? Also, do you think it deserves its own dedicated skill tree, or should it be integrated into the archery skill? Share your ideas in the comments below. I don't know what to expect from Bethesda these days. It's been so many years since we got an Elder Scrolls game. I love the variety of skills that were offered with Starfield. For me, all of these skills in Starfield are a role player's dream. The more skills they offer, the more variety of builds players can create. But they have been removing skills from Daggerfall all the way to Skyrim. Will they actually offer more skills compared to the 18 we got in Skyrim, or will they continue streamlining the Elder Scrolls series? That remains to be seen. Anyway, do share your thoughts on what we discussed today and any comments on throwing weapons. I shall see you in the next one.